What can we do to help you get your child, son or daughter, to school?
And empowering them to do the best that they can do, I think helps to increase their attendance.
And try to find the reason for a student being out.
These kids in 3 years will be in 9th grade, and they won't even know any idea of having a cell phone out.
We're seeing some positives where students are basically communicating and working together more rather than staying isolated.
We're in a catch-22. I don't even know what's going to happen to me.
By the way, from the get-go, asthma is a really complex disease. It's a chronic disease, and there's a lot of elements to it.
For the past 3 months, Citrus TV reporters have been investigating issues that are impacting the next generation of Central New York. Welcome to this edition of Citrus TV Investigates. I'm Welch.
And I'm Anjana Dasam. These issues range from gaps in childcare and asthma crisis related to ID1 and problems facing youth education. That's where we begin tonight.
In 2025, the Syracuse City School District reported that nearly 43% of students were chronically absent, near double the national average.
The district also ranked as the 17th worst for elementary and middle school absenteeism in New York during 2024-25 school year.
Programs such as the Boys and Girls Club work to encourage school attendance here in Central New York and nationwide. Our Olivia Rodriguez shows us what new efforts local schools are making and if they're having an impact on keeping kids in the classroom.
After the school bell rings, many kids head to the Boys and Girls Club for tutoring, meals, and fun. But for some kids, they never hear the bell at all.
I missed my bus before, and my dad said that nobody can pick me up, so I missed school.
Students who miss 10% of school days are deemed chronically absent, which adds up to about 1 month of school. And for a variety of reasons, that has become the new norm.
I'll miss like 1 day a week or 2 times.
You know, you don't really know the reasons until you go and find out.
That's where the SCSD comes in, with its new initiative, Rise and Thrive.
We know that this is working throughout all of our schools, elementary, middle, pre-K through 8, and high schools. We're seeing an increase in attendance.
The $2 million program creates attendance teams at every school in the district to promote attendance through home visits, phone calls, and parent meetings. The program also reviews student absences and provides incentives to promote regular attendance. The SCSD tells us that 83% of schools in the district have seen an increase.
The numbers are progressing, they're getting better. There is more work to do. 90% is not 100%.
But the issue of absences isn't just contained to Syracuse. 20 minutes away, Liverpool High School staff are also starting to see results with their program. Have you seen yourself any actual change? Do you feel that the work is actually working?
I absolutely do. Our students have been coming to school more often recently. Over the last couple of years, we've really doubled down on improving school attendance. It's one of our goals for Liverpool High School.
Despite this goal, Liverpool High School says they're at a 29% chronic absenteeism rate, which is an 8% increase from just last semester.
We have about 2,000 students at Liverpool High School, so we are talking about more than a grade level of students who are considered chronically absent at this time.
Principal Brianna O'Brien says the reason can vary student to student. So is there anything recurring that you're seeing happen more, like reasonings why it may be difficult for parents?
Sometimes our students do have those competing priorities where they're focused on going to work, and school is maybe not the priority for them because they need to provide for themselves or their family, or they're a member of the contribution of the family.
But as the problems vary, so do the solutions. After-school groups like the Boys and Girls Club fill a vital role in providing relief for parents, but also focusing on the heart of it all.
Good job.
The students.
Empowering them to do the best that they can do, I think helps to increase their attendance.
They would be excited when they go to school and they see, hey, I got 100% on my quiz. I got 100% on my spelling bee. You know, they will literally come to the front desk to show off.
While chronic absenteeism is slowly declining, the work is far from done. Getting schools more consistently filled is necessary to ensure that, despite challenges,
First, when I moved to that school, they just start pulling.
Kids like Angelina can find their place in the classroom.
You still wanted to go to school?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Because I wanted to learn.
In Central New York, Olivia Rodriguez, CitrusTV investigates.
Olivia, thank you. Well, for these students who are attending classes, they're doing so without their cell phones.
A bell-to-bell cell phone ban is in effect for the first time this school year. Citrus TV's Jackson Breslin was inside a classroom facing this ban and joins us now in studio to tell us how students are adapting to this change. Jackson, good evening.
Good evening, Anjana and Luke. Cell phones are everywhere, and they impact every aspect of daily life. That's no different in schools, and New York is the 12th state to implement a bell-to-bell ban on cell phones. To get a glimpse of how the first year of this ban is affecting students, Citrus TV visited a 6th grade class, the first to go through middle and high school under the ban.
How many total do I have now?
Alan Lauricella makes it a mission to keep his students connected.
I've always had a pretty good rule here. If we have free time, you're not doing anything digital.
He teaches 6th grade at Jordan Elbridge Middle School, and at a time when more than 90% of teenagers have access to a smartphone, is encouraging his students to interact with each other.
You're either hanging out with somebody, playing some of my board games that I have. I've got a lot of math card games and board games. To kind of keep that engagement, play Connect 4, play Monopoly, play Twister, play some games that get you up and moving rather than sitting and staring.
It's this 6th grade class that will be the first to go through all of middle and high school under New York State's bell-to-bell cell phone ban. Toby Sherman sees school life without a phone as a plus.
You get to know people more, and it's only 12 years of your life that you really get to be with them.
New York is one of 17 states to have banned the use of cell phones in schools in the past 2 years. All in all, 44 states have some kind of policy addressing the issue.
When students are focused and students are in class and students are doing what they're supposed to do, it leads to better results. And that's our job as administrators, is to ensure that students are getting the best education possible.
Florida was the first state to implement a statewide cell phone policy. In the first 2 years, test scores rose by more than half a percentile.
It's going to take some time to help students understand why this is being done, for their own focus, their own concentration, their own engagement, and academic success.
Admittedly, when the ban was introduced, Lauricella says he was skeptical. Concerns with implementation, enforcement, and student safety are among the most common issues. But with the first year of the ban nearly finished, he says it's been one of the best of his career.
I see more student interaction now than I've seen in 7 years, probably. They are much more engaged in the morning when they come in. Even though they could have their phones out, none of them do.
With the locker door closed on cell phones, a different, offline future awaits for the class of 2032 and beyond. Citrus TV also surveyed the 6th grade class, and of the 15 students who have a cell phone, 60% feel as though they learn better without them accessible during the school day. New York is yet to release any data on the ban's impact, an important aspect to how this ban will be viewed for years to come. Reporting for Citrus TV Investigates, I'm Jackson Breslin. Jackson, thank you for your coverage. When we return, how construction to I-81 is worsening health concerns for the city's most vulnerable.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
Welcome back to Citrus TV Investigates. The I-81 viaduct was built through Syracuse in the 1960s, cutting directly through historically red-line neighborhoods on the city's south side. Today, the state's project will remove the elevated highway and replace it with a community grid.
But many residents say the health impacts are already entrenched and set to continue as the deconstruction process of the overpass is set to finish in 2028. Our Caitlin Campbell examines how redlining and long-term highway pollution are linked to some of the highest asthma rates in Syracuse.
In a city full of history and innovation.
Growing up, Syracuse was always brought up as this great place to live. It is literally the opposite of everything I have ever learned.
One road has divided more than just traffic.
People have found that there's a radius of 500 yards around the highway, whereas we see that most affected.
Interstate 81 spans 855 miles, but in Syracuse, it's more than a roadway. It's a health concern for one family who asked to remain anonymous over fears of backlash.
My daughter's never been asthmatic, and she just became asthmatic this year. So again, not sure what's really going on.
Dr. El Tayi, an assistant professor of pediatrics at Upstate, says this is the chilling reality of being in a medically recognized hot zone.
What we call hot zones zip codes, where like the ones in the west side, the east sides, all around 81, the numbers we're seeing, they have higher numbers of ED visits to the point that their numbers are likely double the numbers that we're seeing on Onondaga County as a whole.
Their zip code is in a level of high concern indicated on the New York State asthma dashboard with over 600 emergency department visits. But less than 10 miles away, a low concern dashboard sees 1/10 that amount.
I have been to the pulmonary specialist 8 times in the last year.
And for young children, an asthma flare-up can turn their fun time at recess to falling behind in the classroom.
Because when the kid is sick, he's not going to go to school. He's going to skip a couple of days till his asthma is well controlled, and then he will go back to school, but he's not going to go back fully because he's not full yet. Yeah. He needs to take it easy. He's not going to participate in gym class. He's not going to be playing, and that can affect you. Missing all of these days of school and missing all that gym class, at the end of the day, it can affect your learning.
Less than 5 miles down the road, off exit 18, a community grandma is seeing history repeat itself.
We're in a catch-22. I don't even know what's going to happen to me.
Mabel Wilson has lived in the Pioneer Homes for over 10 years, which is directly next to I-81, and it sees over 100,000 cars per day, according to the New York Department of Transportation. And Wilson says she feels the impact every day.
Nothing has changed. It just it's a continuation of redlining, segregation, because however you look at it, is designated to keep you in control where you are without any kind of help.
Wilson says it's been a cycle that Onondaga County has been stuck in for years, hurting future generations like her grandkids.
They have health issues because of being with grandma, because Ma can't afford child care.
The average income for Wilson's zip code is $27,000, which is $49,000 less than the county's and $20,000 less than the city's average income.
A lot of time we see, because of such a resource-limited environment, that the parents are just dealing with the crisis when it happens. Whenever there's an asthma exacerbation, when there's an emergency, they take the kid to the emergency department and they get it solved. But that's not where asthma ends.
The hospital bills only add up.
I'll be honest with you, some parents will say, Doc, I can't afford that. I can't afford that control of medicine. Let's think of other options that we have.
There are programs within Syracuse and Onondaga County to help the cost of medicine and provide resources. But asthma is a unique condition.
There are programs there that helps them with the expenses of it, but the issue of asthma is that it's not a one-time medicine. You have to pay every month, and that can bring you down $100, $200, and even more. And to put in that's a lot on our community.
For these Syracuse families, they hope for future generations to love an area they once used to. Caitlin Campbell, Citrus TV Investigates.
Coming up on Investigates, Oswego County faces changes to their child care programs, what this means for families and businesses. Coming up next.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Citrus TV Investigates. We now move to childcare.
In March, the Onondaga County Childhood Alliance released a State of Childhood report. The report found that 43% of children under the age of 5 live in poverty.
Where the county is excelling, however, is in access to child health services, offering the most amount of pediatricians per 100,000 people. Oswego County was at just 6. Back in February, the Oswego County Department of Social Services paused funding for a significant child care program, causing issues for not just families, but daycare businesses as well.
Citrus TV Investigates Maura Vaughn joined us with details on the future of local child care funding.
Anjana and Luke, thanks for having me this evening. Now, this program, otherwise known as the Child Care Assistance Program for context, helped eligible low-income families afford child care services by giving out subsidies to lower costs. This gave parents the option to pursue an education or go to work. Now, this year, certain counties announced the pause of the program due to a funding shortage. Now, to be clear, the Child Care Assistance Program, it's not eliminated. It is just paused for now, which still poses the issue for families currently looking to apply for the program or renew their spot. According to the New York State Office of Children and Family Services, about 168,432 people are enrolled in Child Care Assistance Program. Now, to put things into perspective, this is a map of New York State with information on each county and where the funding is paused, closed, or open. I want to take a little bit of a closer look. If you look at the Orange County Oswego, it is closed with an operating wait list of about 1 month, with February 2026 enrollment alone at 476 individuals. If you go to Onondaga County, also in Orange County, closed with an operating wait list with a wait time of about 6 months, with an uncertain future of when that wait list is going to reopen again. In that February 2026 enrollment in this county, over 3,000 individuals rely on this funding. If you go up to a red county, St. Lawrence, it's closed, there is no wait list. And the February 2026 enrollment, 315 individuals. Looking at these orange counties in specifics, I wanted to take a closer look at how a funding freeze would impact working families and what's next for the future of New York child care funding.
There is not much child care to begin with, let alone child care that is both quality and affordable.
Little Luke's daycare director, Meg Kellogg, says that the Oswego County Department of Social Services' decision to pause the child care assistance program creates less options for working families in terms of child care.
When we're removing such a significant resource for them, that is going to trickle down and raise other concerns, that sometimes families that are already stressed and now they have less resources, and now can they feed their children, and now are they worried about having a roof over their head because they can't make rent.
So we sent over questions to Oswego County Department of Social Services Commissioner Lee Sullivan on why the funding was paused in the first place and what this means for families currently enrolled. Here's what he had to say. The pause in child care assistance program funding is due to state-level funding limitations. Counties administer the program under state allocation, and once those funds are fully used, they're required to pause new enrollments to remain within those limits. He goes on to say currently enrolled cases remain active. New enrollments are limited based on available funding. Oswego County isn't the only county impacted by child care funding cuts. Currently, more than half of the counties across New York State have implemented similar pauses due to state funding constraints.
That 9 out of 10 parents are still having child care disruptions affecting their ability to work. That means our economy is being affected. And no one talked about it in those terms for years.
In January, Governor Kathy Hochul announced a $60 million pilot state program that would help give additional child care to specific counties across New York, like Dutchess, Monroe, and Broome County, to support working families. Officials and daycare providers aim for a future where child care options aren't something working families hope to have, but they're a given.
Another concern with lack of childcare options in New York State right now is the amount of non-registered daycares. What problem does this pose?
While all childcare is a plus for working families, non-registered daycares poses a safety concern. Non-registered daycares are not subject to safety oversight, safety inspections, or standard childcare training requirements. The director you heard from earlier that I was speaking to, Meg Kellogg, told me while family or friends may be a cheaper option, the safest option is to go through registered daycares through the state. Background checks are not mandatory, and if they're not through the state, which could pose a future issue for your child's well-being.
Maura, is there any word for when funding for Oswego County may return?
Lee Sullivan tells me that, quote, at the local level, Oswego County continues to monitor spending, enrollment, and utilization of the funding, but they're not able to confirm a timeline for reopening enrollment or expanding access. Now, he goes on to say that any updates or changes to the program status will be communicated as quickly as possible once they hear from New York State on funding decisions. Now, on a positive note, though, Sullivan says New York is actively considering additional funding for the CCAP as a part of the budget process. That's all from me this evening. I'll send it back to you two.
Maura and Vaughn, thank you so much for your insight. We will continue to update you on these stories as new information unfolds, but that concludes this edition of Citrus TV Investigates.
Don't forget to follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Investigates team, I'm Anjana Dasam.
And I'm Luke Welch. Have a great night, Syracuse.